Hi, Ascended Warriors. Happy Friday. I've been planning on coming on for a couple days now. I just got back from Arkansas. I was out there looking at the retreat location for the Muses Spiritual Retreat that's coming up at the end of April. And I really just wanted to check in. I've been having a lot of conversations with family, with friends, and I hear the buildup of stress. I can hear it in the conversations. I can feel it when I talk to them, to the point where it feels like all the stress of this last year, all the COVID stuff, all the political stuff has really become cumulative, where we are absorbing stress and holding on to it in a way that's not allowing us to process stress the way that we could otherwise if we took things one drama at a time. So I really just wanted to come on today with a kind of a get out of your head message. And I don't 100% know what that looks like, but I was walking around today and seeing the spring flowers just pop up. And for me, spring is it's my favorite time of the year because it's a time of rebirth. It's a time when the earth itself remakes life. If that is not a time to step out of our fear and into what is possible for ourselves, for the planet, for everybody, then I don't know what time would be right. Spring is a time of rebirth. It is a time where we can remake that which was to find out what is. That's why I called this the potential of possibility. If you were given all of your druthers, if you're given everything in the world that you could possibly want, what would that look like? What would your life look like? Those potentials, those dreams are not out of they're not out of the realm of possibility, but we get so caught up in looking at what we don't have, what makes us miserable, what makes us feel fear, that we forget to look at what makes us happy, what makes us feel hope. So walking down my driveway today and seeing those beautiful purple crocus coming out of the ground gave me hope. It gave me hope that this spring, this remaking, is also a remaking for myself and a remaking for the entire planet. And it can be. The potential is there to have a rebirth on a global level. And it starts with something as simple as taking note of something in your life right now, at this exact moment that makes you happy. Is it the flower that just popped out of the ground in your yard? Is it someone in your life that you love? And picture that thing that makes you happy. Pay attention to what that feels like in your body. There is a visceral response to happiness and to love that's in our bodies. Once you get conscious of what that feeling is, you can create it. You can create it anytime you want. It belongs to you. So if you think of a newborn kitten and you just see that beautiful scrunchy little face and hear that little meow, and feel what that does to your body. Pay attention to what that does to your body. This is a feeling that you can take with you, that you can cultivate from a small thing like using your imagination to picture a kitten, into creating, into manifesting your dream. That feeling is like a gateway where fear is like closing the shutters on everything in your life. Closes everything out. You're sitting in the dark and all you can see is the dark. You don't know where the wall is. You don't know where one thing ends and one begins because fear itself is a blinder. The opposite, happiness, love, opens doors. It opens possibilities. It unleashes your power as a divine being. So if you experience love, if you experience happiness, and if anybody's into Louise May Hayes, she was famous for this, that gratitude, that feeling of gratitude and happiness beats out fear. It can destroy it. They cannot exist in the same space at the same time. So if you are feeling fear right now, think of something that makes you feel grateful or happy. And pay attention to what happens to that feeling. Pay attention to what happens to your body. Your blood flows a little bit more freely. You feel a little bit more energized, a little bit more light. That feeling is a choice. You have the choice to feel that way, to invoke that feeling anytime the world starts to feel cumulatively too crazy. And it really starts with just being aware, with being conscious that that fear, that dark room, that sadness, that feeling of being overwhelmed by being told you can only do so many things by the government, or the fear of the COVID and the fear of the hatred that's going on online. You can sit in that dark room for as long as you want to. Nobody will ever pull you out of there. Only you can pull yourself out, and you can pull yourself out as easily as being aware that that's not where you want to be. And think of something that makes you happy. Hell, do something that makes you happy. If you can, get out and walk in nature. It helps put your entire world into perspective. Listen to a song that you love to sing along to, that just really gets you and that just pulls you out of whatever place you're in, so you can suck into that song for 3 to 4 minutes. Watch a movie that makes you laugh, that makes you feel something other than that fear. You'll start to realize that it is your choice to pull yourself out of that room. And you can make that choice every single time you recognize that you're feeling fear, that you're feeling like you're stuck in that room. Now, this does not negate at all some of the longer lasting and more serious forms of depression. I absolutely have faced PTSD and depression myself. And it takes time and it takes effort, but you can get to a place where it does not hold you anymore. It doesn't control you. My fear no longer controls me. Now, that's not to say it doesn't show up from time to time. It absolutely does. But I have the choice. When I start to feel that fear and start to feel like I'm shut in that dark room, I know how to open the door. And it can be as simple as that. On my way back from the grocery store just now, I was playing a Disney soundtrack. And I have no shame over playing and singing along to my favorite Disney tunes. Because when I was going through some of my worst depression, for whatever reason, Disney movies pulled me out of it. They were happy. They were joyful. They were beautiful. It pulled me out of that darkness, and it gave me something else to focus on. It reminded me what it was like to feel happy. And quite frankly, when you're stuck in fear, it doesn't want you to remember happiness. It doesn't want you to remember that there is a way out of that dark room. But you know, what is it that makes you happy? And do that. Do that thing right now. And if you can't do it because you're stuck in your house, envision it. Remember what it was like to go skiing down that mountain. The fresh snow, the feeling of the cold air passing over your face. That wonderful, warm, hot drink that was going to be waiting for you at the end of the mountain. Whatever it is, sit there and build yourself a daydream around it. Even if it's only for 60 seconds. And while you are doing that, just pay attention to how your body physically feels. It is instantaneous what happiness and gratitude can do to combat that fear. Either way, it's a choice. It's a choice you are going to make every moment of your life. But every time you choose joy over fear, it gets easier. You spend less and less time in that dark room because you realize, hell, you just don't want to be there. You don't need to be there. Happiness is a choice. So what makes you happy? Post it here in the comments. Let me know what works for you to pull you out of your head. Share your experiences with other people, because we learn by participating, by joining a community of like-minded people. You are not in this alone, not for one moment. So share your experiences with others, read the tips that other people provide, and see what works for you. Let me know. And check out more content on YouTube if you want some guided meditations or just some more moments to get you out of your head. I'm Chris Alicia, and I will see you guys soon. Have a great weekend.